earlier this morning, Elon is like, why does Twitch have this double standard? And the Muse had posted 20 hours ago, censorship. Hasan Piker once called for the destruction of whites in America. Meanwhile, Asmongold was banned from Twitch for simply expressing that he didn't have sympathy for the Islamic migrants storming Spain's borders in Ceuta. Piker's account on Twitch is alive and well, and it's insane to me that Elon is commenting on this situation. And I love that he did, because it brings attention to the fact that Twitch is a platform that, sure, it's given people a lot of opportunities. A lot of people's livelihoods are tied to Twitch still, unfortunately. But it goes to show that Elon has an opportunity here to make X based. Now, X has been having its issues. I don't know who's on the moderation team at this point. I think Elon has kind of moved on to his other projects, and X is being run by someone else. You guys saw that Nikita recently, I believe, stepped down from his own position. So we have a lot of people kind of moving away from X. And the danger with that is that we are going to start seeing the pendulum swing back to the people that we don't want it to swing back to. And it's really unfortunate, because I was really hoping that X would be the next, maybe not Twitch, but maybe a hybrid between X and Twitch. And so I believe Elon still has this big opportunity to make X not only a platform where there's free speech, and I'm going to put that in quotation marks there, but also streaming. Right now, in my opinion, X streaming is lacking in a lot of ways. I know they've been trying to implement tools on the premium side, but again, I genuinely believe they still need to add more features that will help creators. And honestly, I don't know if you got, and sorry to go on a little bit of a tangent here, I'm going to tie it right back, is that, again, while Elon has this opportunity, now they're updating the creator system, and we don't have to talk about it now. We can talk about this perhaps tomorrow. I don't know. I feel like they're taking steps back instead of forward when it comes to X and their creator program. But I would like to dive into it tomorrow and see, is this truly bad? Are they going to be messing around with smaller creators? Are they only going to be benefiting the big creators? Could them potentially being a real competitor to Twitch be hindered by this? I don't know. I'm still praying that Elon is going to take it seriously, because we need better alternatives to Twitch. I think Kick is pretty solid. I don't think it's a bad platform, but obviously there is a reputation that precedes it. And Rumble, look, I don't hate Rumble. I still multi-stream there, but their tools, these competitors need to step up. Now is a really good opportunity. Twitch has been shooting itself in the foot. Amazon has been taking losses. I don't know why they keep allowing people like Hasan here. And then people like Asmon or Tectone, who bring them in a lot of money too, but have wrong think, get kicked off the platform. So let's see this quick 10-second clip here.
We're gonna keep bringing in immigrants into this country on purpose, just so they can fuck your sister, and then maybe even your dog.
What? Wait. Did Hasan actually say that? I don't even want to finish the clip. What the heck? Wait. Did I hear that right? Okay. What the actual heck is this? He said it so candidly. And look, this guy is a horrible person, but he said it so candidly that I was taken aback for a second. Dan Clancy, can I just I don't know if Twitch staff is watching, or him maybe, but can we step back for a second and analyze who you have on this platform, who you're giving a platform to? Because this is the kind of stuff that gets you jailed. Or should at least. What? I don't. This is a permanent ban. Anybody else does this and it's a permanent ban. Other platforms, you get banned for this kind of stuff. You get an FBI agent assigned to you when things like this happen. And they're still funding this guy. They're still letting him speak. They're still giving him the spotlight. Oh my gosh. I would have jailed him already. Quite frankly, I would have jailed him already. And I would have deported him back to wherever the heck he's from. Look, I've got the outfit. Maybe ICE will let me in, dude. I think ICE needs I think they need a pink Latina on the team to bring some people to justice, because this is actually pure insanity. If this were my platform, I not only would have banned him, I would have reported him to the FBI, and I would have shipped him right back to wherever the heck he came from. That is disgusting. And this, and without going too much into political tinfoil hat theory here, these are the kind of people that will come into this country who will be allowed in, and they will do exactly what this subhuman filth said. They will do exactly this. This man is not human. He is subhuman. I would not call him a person ever. Goodness gracious. And Craig is here like telling Elon you should buy it. I totally agree. Elon should buy it, but I think that it may be a money hole. Not money hole, but a sunk investment. Like he's not gonna. I doubt he would get money back. As Amazon has been running on negative. If Elon buys this, I think he's going to need to cut a lot of people out of Twitch. And I think that we're going to need to get people like Hasan out ASAP. Like the moment he buys it, executive order, goodbye Hasan. I don't know if Elon would do that. And I think he's more worried about SpaceX and other things. I don't think Twitch is on his radar. If anything, I would just take the competition over, get X to be in a part where you can stream not only from PC, but from mobile as well. And get on it. Just get on it. Rumble, get on it. Kick, get on it. This platform sooner or later is going to be gone. And look, here's the golden boy. Because I'm making fun of like you who think white genocide is real here. And it's not a real concept. Whereas Asmongold demanded border police shoot and children. Now, that is not what Asmon said, first and foremost. He said that the people coming in are using their children as shields, buddy. I don't know how he has to be botting likes, because there's no way that people are supporting this subhuman filth's ideas. I have a feeling he's botting. There's no way. Right, Chad? There's no way that anyone could possibly support whatever this guy has to say. Actual psycho. Literal freaking psycho. And people cheer this on like it's tomorrow, like he's tomorrow's messiah. It's insane, dude. No, thank you. Yeah, I doubt Amazon would sell Twitch. I agree. And we have Eat here saying that Hasan, we just got to see it, that Hasan had responded to Elon Musk. And honestly, going back to this absolute vile response from him, people all over the world are being killed by different groups, but we have a real problem where the people that he openly talks about doing what they're going to do here, and I'm not going to replay it for the sake of not getting in trouble, and we may need to get it out of the YouTube video later, is you want to do these things to people, to daughters, to mothers. You're fine with this happening. You're the one saying, let's bring in all these people here so that they can come and do this. And these are the people that will use their children as shields as they cross the border in order to avoid having law enforcement like ICE and other groups come in and try to protect the general populace from whatever's going on. So I don't want to actually hear it from you, Hasan. You're the real psycho. You're the real one wanting children to lose their lives. And for more innocent, well, not innocent because they're crossing the border knowingly with what they're doing, in order to come into the country to leech our resources. And I can understand people wanting a better life, but there is a method of doing that. And there are plenty of other countries that they can go to that isn't here. So if anyone is the dummy here, it's you, bud. You clearly don't care about America. You don't care about its people. You don't care that we are in a crisis. And to say that white people are not being killed is not ignorance. This is malice. This statement isn't ignorance. It's pure malice from him because he knows what's going on in the world and he knows what's happening outside of his own circle, outside of his own bubble. It's just that he doesn't care. I think this is demonic too. It's demonic. He doesn't care. And it's clear that he is part of the group trying to subvert the narrative and say, yeah, white people, they're the ones doing all this. When white people have increasingly become the minority across the world and even in America at this point. Minorities? What minorities? The minority have become the majority. So why are we calling them minorities and not whites? Look, I may not be white, bro, but the writing has been on the wall for a minute. People like Hasan only prove that there is no tinfoil hat that we need because it's right in our faces. He confessed it. And there are plenty of more people in the Middle East who will say these very things. And you guys know that I'm Christian. You know that I do not support Islam. I do not support other religions, in particular this one, because it is not a religion of peace. It's not. It can't. It can't be. If you read the Quran, if you read the Hadiths, if you read their writings, they will look peaceful while they're the minority in whatever place they're in. But once they become the majority, you better lock up your houses, put your daughters away, put all your kids away, actually, put your wives away, and run for the hills because these people are here to take over. It's not a joke anymore. It's not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. And Christianity is the religion that should be in America, not these third world religions. They don't, first of all, they're not true. And second of all, they don't go with our culture. So pray for this guy that the demons inside of him exit because he is filled with them. Perhaps he is one himself. He needs absolute prayer. He is part of the reason, he's going to be part of the reason that this country falls. People like him. Because it's a conquest for these guys. It's not about, oh, I'm just coming here for a better life. Some of them maybe. It's not all of them. I don't think it's all of them. But it's enough of them that we need to be way more cautious. We need to have our Minecraft swords loaded up and ready to go. Because he will bring in these people without a second thought, and they will be part of our downfall. And our government has also sold us out. So there's also that. Anyway, another tweet here from Yeet, and this was on the 7th. So this was yesterday. Hasan says Asmongold and his community are worse than animals and asks where their humanity and empathy are. Really ironic coming from someone like Hasan. He calls Asmon a walking TOS violation. Anytime this kind of thing happens, his community immediately start brigading everything. He is a walking TOS violation machine. He's done so much more. And we can go ahead and just watch the clip here. Let's see what our wonderful second messiah here, Mr. Hasan Piker, has to say about Asmon, which is probably nothing of substance, let's be honest.
All the comments and the hidden replies are about you. Yeah, of course. As soon as Asmongold gets banned, you already know. Twitch ban. They deserved it. Blame Hasan. They didn't deserve it. Blame Hasan.
Honestly, we're not blaming you for it. But we know that your reaction is vile. And you have repeatedly shown that you should not be on any platform. You should be deplatformed. Honestly, you should be in jail on the way to getting deported back to Turkey or wherever you're from. You do not belong here. You are not an American. You are someone that I would not have the pleasure of wanting to cross paths with. I want you up and out of my country right now, yesterday, out. Go back to the place where you think you're going to be fine. Live there. Go stream from there. Do whatever. Get out. Just get out. We don't want you. You're not welcome anymore. Unless you change. And I pray for your change. But I know you're one of those people that on the likelihood of changing, it's at most maybe 10%. I don't know why we keep him here. Dead weight. Maybe at most he contributes some tax money. But otherwise, I have not seen someone so unpatriotic, so openly like this man. So it's not about Asmon getting banned and it being your fault. It's that you say way worse things and you get a slap on the wrist and then you'll comment and you'll say things like that, saying that, you know, there is no white genocide, there's not this going on, and that it's your people being, you know, getting the short end of the stick, when in reality, it's real, everyday, average Americans, including whites, who are getting shafted by the government. So don't even start, buddy.
You already know what's up. Anytime this kind of thing happens, like his community immediately start brigading everything, I'm just going to show you exactly what we suspect is the reason why he got banned, because it can be a million different things.
It's people like your boyfriend, perhaps, who owns the platform, who doesn't care and will easily... Anybody, again, it's a wrong think. If you are right of Mao, you are in the wrong think section and we must destroy your livelihood. There is no free speech on Twitch. You can't say things that go against your narrative or goes against you or speaks the actual truth, the actual statistics and the things that are going on, because it doesn't fit the image that you're painting.
It could be so many different things, because he is a TOS violation, a walking terms of service violation machine for the most part, but it's most likely the advocacy that he was engaging in about murdering migrant children. That's the reason why he got banned. I mean, he's done so much more. It's kind of crazy that that's just the tip of the iceberg, really. It's the tip of the iceberg as far as like what got him banned. Because he does commentary, like violent commentary.
But didn't you just say that a certain group is going to come into America and destroy us? Like, is that not a call for violence? What? No, he was saying that people who come into this country use their kids as a shield. It's not that he wants that to happen. I don't think Asmon is like that. You're just twisting his words. What are you talking about?
Urging his followers to go out and do violence against the police.
If anything, it's your side. I don't know if you guys remember, but earlier this year, when the ICE raids were happening in Minnesota, these were the people, they had a whole, you guys remember that we went over the plan that they had? It was a multi-page plan of what to do when the cops come to obstruct justice, to be out in the streets making honking noises, to be there yelling at the officers as they're doing their job. Do you guys remember that? Because I remember that. I was there reading it. It was on Twitter. And their plans were leaked and what you're supposed to do when these agents come. And weren't you one of the people who were vocal about that being fine? Right? Sounds like your side is the side that's advocating for the officers not to do their job. And for ultimately these people who are, whether they're paid or just useful clowns, to go out and do these things. I don't know, man. Asmon just says people shouldn't be using their kids as a shield. They use their kids as a shield versus you saying go out there and obstruct justice.
For what he perceives as the police protecting the Somali community in Minneapolis, he's done.
So we should just protect criminals. Okay.
On that. I mean, he's advocated for violence by leaning into systemic forces of violence often. Like, that's the way he does it. where he'll just be like, I should just kill everyone all the time. He has advocated to, Asmongold has advocated to put people in concentration camps, labor camps, for civil offenses. He's advocated to murder protesters, exercise.
So we do need to re-educate the people in this country, because clearly we've gone so far off the deep end that there is no such thing as sanity or rationality anymore. I don't think your group of people have any form of reason left. And so I don't think you need to be put in a camp. I just think you need to be shipped out of here really quickly. And the rest of you who agree with him, if you guys think it's so good, just go. The self-deports are they're right there. Dude, what is this guy talking about? And people who obstruct justice, here's the thing, right? With what happened earlier this year with, what was his name is Alexis Good, or what was it? Preddy and the other one. It's a tragedy that happened. Quite frankly, it is truly a tragedy. I don't think it should have happened. It's unfortunate, but here's the thing. You don't know. Yeah, Preddy and Good. You don't know, as a police officer or any form of law enforcement, what weapons people may have. And a vehicle can be considered a weapon. So if people have one in their hand, or they're using their vehicle, and you try to either drive off or you point it, yeah, they're going to protect themselves. Yes, it's justified in that case, because you don't know what people can do. Do you guys remember that one black woman who looked like that one Concord character? Look, I'm not trying to laugh at her. I'm just trying to jog your memory here. Who looks like the freaking Concord character. She had the really big puffy, like, not like twin tails, but like the two puffy things for her hair. And she hurt a Asian officer who was trying to see what the heck was going on, and she just attacked him. Bro was bleeding by the end of it. Yeah, she was wielding a knife. Yeah, exactly, her. You're telling me that an officer has no right to defend himself, and potentially anybody, like, imagine if somebody had come out of their apartment and this woman was going crazy. Yeah, sometimes, and unfortunately, and I'm not saying, again, I'm not advocating for violence, but sometimes it happens where you need to put down one person so that the bigger group lives. They're a danger to society. So you think that that's fine? You think that we shouldn't stop these protesters that turn violent, who burn down places, who destroy businesses? We shouldn't stop them? Are you insane? What about the life of the people that they're affecting in a negative way? Why do we need such chaos? You are a lover of chaos. You are a lover of destruction. And that's why I will never take this man seriously. Because it's clear that he would rather we all burn because a few people can't handle their emotions. They can't handle themselves. And they think that it's everybody else's problem. They think it's everyone else's problem. I don't get it. How someone can be so against order. I don't get it. Nobody, thank you for the super chat. He said Hasan is special because you don't need to ruin his life. He's rich, successful, famous Twitch streamer. Yeah, he's miserable. I mean, I don't want to bring too much of his own personal problems, but if he was a kinder person, I think he'd be much better off. If he just changed his mindset, if he came to reality and said, I'm going to embrace it and be better, get off the internet at this point and go live his life, I think he'd be happy. But you can tell. Look at his eyes. This is literally Amon 2.0. There's no light in his eyes.
Using their First Amendment rights. He also doesn't.
Yeah, we should use our First Amendment rights. They're right for a reason, to defend ourselves. When crazy people like the people you advocate for come after us.
Shower at all.
You mean you'd shoot adults and deport the kids, right? Well, I'd shoot whoever. Yeah, I'd shoot whoever. I mean, if it's kids, women, men, anybody, just shoot them. They're going to stop coming over. Because if you don't do that, they'll use.
I think he's been watching too much.
So I think what he's saying here is ultimately right. These people come crossing with their kids, and they will use them as a shield. Like I mentioned earlier a couple times, it is to defend themselves as they come in and try to take what's not theirs. So I wouldn't take this method unless they were being violent. I think only in the case of actual violence should we do this. We should detain these people at the borders. We should send them back. I think that that's fine. I don't think on-site is necessary. I don't think that's what he's going for here. I think that's if they start to be violent, if they start threatening, and putting the kids up, then we might have to take some more drastic measures. But otherwise, it's fair to not want them in here. They don't belong here. Like, at least come through the legal methods. Yeah, they take long, but it'll be well worth it in the end. Or go to a country with an actual open border policy. That shouldn't be us. We have our own problems.
Pro-Israel commentary that he thinks this kind of shit would fly. The last time he did this and got banned, it was the same thing. He was talking about how, genocide is totally permissible, that the Palestinians are barbaric and deserve genocide. And now he's doing it again.
Where is he getting this from? I don't think I've ever heard Asmongold say this. I don't think he advocates for that. What he probably said was something along the lines that if people are violent and they're being violent towards you or they're coming at you with violence, well, again, I think every country and every person is well within the rights to defend themselves. So I don't think that Asmon supports whatever the heck Hasan is saying here. This is a hyperbole by this guy. There's no evidence that Asmon actually said that, and he probably took out of context whatever he said.
Again.
Because that's how Hasan and his group work. They twist what you say, that is a very reasonable answer, and make it seem like they're the victim at the end of the day, that you are seeking violence. No, we're defending ourselves from the people who are being violent towards us.
This is the second time Asmongold has been banned for advocating to murder children as well as adults. How is this not, especially to someone who's as large as Asmongold? Let's be real. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't know how long this ban will be. I suspect maybe 7 days, maybe 14. Chop it down to 7 on good behavior, something like that. But I mean, this is the only reason why this happened is because it was highlighted. It was such a heinous thing. It was such a heinous statement that even normies were like, dude, what the fuck is going on? Yeah, just a reminder, Morgan and many other smaller content creators got 30 days. They got banned for 30 days. He talks about undocumented migrants or just refugees as animals while simultaneously advocating to slaughter them. You're worse than an animal. You're worse than an animal. If you, like...
Says the person who treats his pet horribly.
The thing that separates man from the rest of the animals is the capacity to feel empathy, the capacity to go beyond simple self-preservation. But it is our capacity to feel empathy as a...
There's such a thing as suicidal empathy, my friend. You can't be empathetic to the point where you let other people just step all over you, right? You have to have boundaries in life. You can't just let anyone come in all the time, no vetting, nothing. Just like, yeah, let's be nice. Let's let everybody in. You can feel sympathetic for people. You can feel empathetic that they are going through a difficult time, and maybe coming here would be a good opportunity for them. But there are processes, right? America's not, well, on paper, it's not an open border country, but it is in the sense that, yeah, you can just come in. We'll do it in like 2 seconds. You come in, you're fine. Just go. You don't even need paperwork. We don't do that. And maybe I'm getting the open border policy thing mixed up here. We just don't say anyone can come in, right? There's a, for some people, it may take a couple years. People might get married, and that might be a slightly faster process, but there is a due process for each person who tries to come in. I could be misremembering here. Anybody who's Catholic and remembers this. I think the Pope may have been advocating for open borders or something like that, and I think that that's wrong. Now, if he wants to open up the Vatican City for people, sure, why not? But to say that countries need to let everybody in, or we should be super sympathetic to every migrant, regardless of anything, and not think about it at all, I think that's a horrible mindset to have. And this is how the people who will infiltrate and destroy you later come in. It is this level of empathy that doesn't belong, right? You can be sympathetic, you can pray for them. Maybe we can ally with the countries that they're in so that they can improve. I think that's not bad, depending on the country. But just straight up, yeah, come to my country, do whatever you want. Don't assimilate at all. Just come in. Is not what we're supposed to do. And look, I'm not a political commentator. I know all the ins and outs of every single policy, but I am an average everyday American who is tired of seeing people get Section 8 housing and just allowing whoever in, and they are the most destructive people that we could have ever let in. I don't know if you guys remember when we were watching Nick Shirley, but remember how they were handing out substances to people on the streets to get them hooked, and it was a bunch of immigrant people, and there was this one immigrant family with 1 or 2 kids living in a tent in the streets of Los Angeles. That was horrible. That's not something I want to see for anyone. And we already have a homelessness problem in major cities. Why are we adding more weight to the system that the system cannot handle? It's already buckling under pressure, and it's going to completely collapse sooner rather than later. And sure, maybe exactly where I live, I don't have this, it isn't a major problem, but I've seen it on the news. I've seen it on the streets. When I've walked on in the New York City streets, I've seen people protest. I've seen people from third world countries coming together in Times Square and doing this massive religious thing that if a Christian were to do that, they would get in so much trouble by the cops. They would be like, you guys are disturbing the peace, but they do it and it's a slap on the wrist. We'll put the borders around them so that they can do it. This isn't the America that I wanted to grow up in. I'm in my mid-20s, guys. A lot of you have been alive longer than me, and you've seen things go down over time. I'm seeing it in real time. I'm experiencing it in real time like crazy. This isn't what I voted for. This isn't what I'm paying a bunch of taxes for. For people like Hasan and his orbiters and all of them to encourage this and to say, oh, you need to be super empathetic because I said so. Because you should just not think about it. No. That's not what I signed up for as an adult, and it's not what I want to keep paying for either. Give me back my tax money if this is what we're going to allow. If we're not going to take we should take drastic action in a way that is the least harmful, right, to people bodily. But we need to start pumping out some more people out of here. And I genuinely believe we need to bring back Christianity to schools. I think that Christianity should be the main religion of America. And sure, people who are atheists may disagree with me, but let's be honest, no other religious system works. No other religious system preaches on truly loving people. And it isn't this soft love. It's a love that is firm. It is in correction. It is of truth. We need that. We desperately need that. I think that's the only way we can even start to reverse and a lot of the damage that's been done to be more effective. That's one thing. That's a thing that we need to reincorporate, not just we're just Christians by culture. No, but truly living it. And obviously, for those of you who are Christian in the audience, it starts with us.
A social animal, right? So when you want the American government to react as a feral animal, as a predator.
How does this guy get subs? Do you see this? Are these bot accounts? Do you guys see these are bot accounts that are subbing to him to make it seem like he actually has an audience that cares about him?
You are, unironically, the actual animal, not the undocumented migrants. You are behaving like
My guy, I think you're the real animal advocating for it. Anyway, how are you doing?
Like an actual fair.
So, like, he just goes to insult Asmon here. So it's really not worth watching the rest of the clip. But Tectone also talked about this clip. It looks like yesterday. Old Hasan clip has resurfaced, and the vile things that he said here, and it's insane. It's really insane. Wow. And Emerald here is like, these people say that it's a joke, but for people who are paying attention, what he is saying is happening exactly as he stated, which I absolutely agree. It's been happening. It may not be full scale everywhere, every minute of the day, but it is absolutely happening, and it's getting worse. It's progressively getting worse. The Great Replacement is no longer conspiracy. It's happening right now, powered by the misguided empathy of the weak, moralistic Western voice. Oh boy, Emerald's like, I'm using this word today. He said, I'm dropping the F-bomb. And look, Elon Musk responded to Tectone, which is crazy, right, to experience here. Goodness, Elon. And that was 6 hours ago today, by the way. And he asked Grok, is this true? And Grok responded, this clip is authentic. Hasan Piker said nearly identical lines, right, to do that. And it looks like this was early on, so a couple of years ago, that he said this. Insane, bro. And still has a platform he doesn't deserve. And then we have Yeet here talking about Tectone defends Asmon in Asmon's controversial remarks, which I don't think are controversial, but for the sake of the conversation, we can say that. So let's see what Tectone said. I'm really curious to know how he reacted. As you guys know, Tectone, I don't think he streams on Twitch anymore. I think he's like permabanned, or he just said it's not worth it. I'm packing it up. I'm out. And he streams on Rumble. I think he streams on Kick as well, but I'm not entirely sure. I don't really follow Tectone, but let's see.
This is
here.
Emotional blackmail, right?
Yes.
Where you can't shoot these people. They have kids with them. Well, then don't bring your kids.
Exactly.
If you don't want to get shot, then don't bring your fucking kids.
Now, this can sound heartless. Now, let me explain to you what he means. And we're going to explain this multiple times throughout this clip. So, illegal criminals from Africa are forcibly invading other countries, and they're using their women and children as kids.
Yep.
Asmongold's solution.
Spain. You guys saw the situation in Spain in the last couple of weeks. They're coming in, man. They're unapologetically coming in.
Is to shoot them all. Now, you could say, well, why is he going to shoot the women and children? Because the problem is that an extreme measure needs to be taken once to ensure that more women and children are not being put into the line of fire and the line of danger in perpetuity. We must put our foot down once, because the issue is, if criminals see, oh, I'll just break into this guy's house with a group of kids, that way they can't shoot me. More and more kids in the long term are going to be used as sacrificial pawns for criminals to enact behavior and criminal activity as they see fit, and police officers are not going to be allowed to do their job. This isn't our problem. It is their problem they're presenting us with. We don't want to do this, but it's our only choice for the safety of our countries.
Look, it breaks my heart to think that even a measure like that could be taken against a life. While I do understand the logic, I still wouldn't want to do this unless they're being violent. Then, you do what you have to do. But it's horrible. It's horrible that these selfish people do this. They don't care about the life of their children. They say they do to give them a better life. But if they truly cared, I think that they would potentially, like, there are so many ways. Couldn't they get political asylum? Couldn't they, go to a country that is fine with people coming, with mass immigrating? I think that we can do something a little less harsh that is harsh, but it's hard, because what will get through these people? Talking to them hasn't worked. Saying no hasn't worked. I don't know, man. It's a difficult situation. We're between a rock and a hard place, because we want these people to still be able to live and to hopefully flourish. But we want them to flourish in their own country. We'd rather they have their country get fixed. What happened to doing revolutions? Did we lose that? Now, of course, there are plenty of people who are not here necessarily for a better life, but rather to subvert. And those people need to be gone, like yesterday. But there is probably still a small group of them that are looking for a better life, but they get lumped in with the people who are trying to subvert, unfortunately. But we can't take any chances. I don't think we should take any chances anymore. I think it's a disservice to us, and it is a disservice to your children who are put in the line of fire. I don't like to say that there are necessary casualties because I don't think that there is, but I can understand people who look at it that way, that there is, there may have to be some casualties that need to happen. But I do think that people need to, look at America. Look at what we did against Britain early in our history, right? Boston Tea Party, drop the tea in the harbor, say no to tax, even though we've become worse than them at this point with the taxes, but that's besides the point. We need these people to do a revolution in their own countries. And yeah, maybe you lose yourself in the process, but think about the generations that will be free because you did something brave instead of being a coward and running to a different country. Because I think that's cowardly. Unless you're truly under a super duper oppressive dictatorship where your life is truly on the line and you really can't do anything and you need outside help, then you just request. I don't know how the political asylum stuff works. And usually we're pretty in the know about major countries and what's going on in them. But these other countries, again, I feel bad. I know that women are not treated very well in the Middle East. Neither are children. But you guys need to fight back. Or, I don't know, maybe we can get other countries who have let you in with no problem take care of you, like the UK, for example. Now, I don't think people from the UK want these people in there, and I don't think they should be in there. But your government seemed to want them just fine. NATO, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the UN is doing. I have no idea what these big groups that were supposedly here to help with international affairs, are they just pocketing the money still? Is that what's going on here? If we have these international treaties and stuff like that, can y'all just go help them with their countries and have them pay you later? Like, the agreement is we're going to take your resources in order to liberate you or something. And then they figure out their governments themselves, or we put a proxy, as they have done for, decades now, is like we put proxies in these countries until they can rebuild themselves. I don't know. I just don't want them here. Like, I really don't. Enough is enough. They don't belong here.
An extreme measure must be taken once to ensure it doesn't happen again. And if you want to know why they're doing this, they did the exact same thing in Iran, where they built a elementary school on top of their military base. So
that's insane, dude. What? I've never even heard of something like that happen here. Oh my gosh.
Anybody retaliated against their terroristic activity, they would say, oh my God, they're bombing the children. They are doing emotional blackmail on not just the United States of America, but everyone on this earth. And they're doing that by weaponizing the lives of children and women. And it's disgusting. And the reality is they have forced our hand. Until we say this shit's not going to work, they're going to continue to bring children to war zones and say, hey, as we rape your women, as we bomb you.
Okay, he's on Rumble. He can say whatever he wants. I am not just on Rumble, so I can't say exactly what I want. I definitely don't want to hear this. So I understand Tectone's sentiment, and I feel that, man. What is it going to take for this to finally stop? Well, here's the thing. It isn't just them coming up and showing up. Our government has allowed for a lot of illegal immigration. These countries, right? The UK, unfortunately, is a prime example, and I'm not trying to throw you guys on the bus here, but your government allows this to happen because they want it to happen, because the people that they get to import ultimately end up voting for the party that will want to remain in power. And so they don't have a real incentive. Now, if we tried to do this as Americans, let's say we get to form a militia of some sorts and try to do this, the government's not going to allow it. They're going to send the military stuff in, and it's awful. And honestly, I didn't even know that the militaries in Iran would just build schools in the middle of a freaking war zone in order for them to avoid getting, the likelihood of them getting destroyed, wiped off the face of the earth, for it to be reduced. That's a vile. That is vile, and it shows that their women and their children are just meat shields. They are not. They don't care about them. I mean, there might be people who do, but let's be honest. You do that, and you don't have to say anything. That's a sucker punch to the face without giving you a sucker punch to the face. Actual insanity. Actual freaking insanity, man. So, while I would say that we shouldn't do anything on site, I think that, we just gotta send them back. There has to be more manpower. There needs to be more competent manpower being put in the front lines for this. So, maybe we need another sign-on bonus, Ice. I think that might be the solution, or part of the solution, honestly. So let's see here. So it looks like Hasan responded to Tectone, and he's trying to defend himself and make it seem like he is the savior. He is Saint Hasan Piker. He is Saint Piker, right? And that he's going to bring forth the new millennia or something. Let's see what he had to say here.
Why are you guys sending me fucking 12 like posts? They won't ban us on for praising terrorists. They're two sides of the same coin. Who cares, man? Please. Yes, I think we have a real crisis in stupidity. Okay, we have a real crisis in stupidity. Yes, I think we have to realize that many people want to simply appear smart. And one of the easiest way to try and appear smart when you're a stupid person is to say horseshoe theory, two sides of the same coin. I'm actually a moderate. I'm actually right at the center of these two different dangerous forms of commentary. It's just a lot of people are stupid. You're looking at
Wait. What? Wait, what? You're in the middle? You're in the middle. You're a moderate. Let me replay this. Hold on. I'm gonna slow down because whoever did this sped up the clip.
Why are you guys sending me fucking 12 like posts? They won't ban us on for praising terrorists. They're two sides of the same coin. Who cares, man? Please. Yes, I think we have a real crisis in stupidity. Okay, we have a real crisis in stupidity. Yes, I think we have to realize that many people want to simply appear smart. And one of the easiest way to try and appear smart when you're a stupid person is to say horseshoe theory, two sides of the same coin. I'm actually a moderate. I'm actually right at the center of these two different dangerous forms.
You're what? Maybe center of Mao. I mean, a moderate? I think you're lessening the blow a little too much here, Hasan. So are we that far extreme that suddenly you're moderate? That's insane, dude. We're just lost in the sauce here in the West, it seems. Mr. Saint Piker here said that he is a moderate. Well, if you were, you wouldn't be calling for the destruction of people or deny actual facts of what's happening and how much we're importing over exporting. I don't understand where this opinion comes from. Either you're not self-aware enough to understand just how extreme of a person you really are, or your boyfriend is kissing you goodnight and you don't think about life. You're just on easy mode. You're just fine. You're just going here. No, I think that anybody who advocates for the destruction of another person, unprovoked, is certainly not a moderate. Because at least a moderate, as dumb as I may think some of them may be, at least they ain't calling for the death of other people, bro. Like, at least they're trying to fight with their ideas and say, no, we should be operating in this way. This is the best way. Maybe we can take a little from one side, a little from the other. Like, okay, you both are kind of dumb, whatever, right? And then you're championing a social system, right? Communism, that is absolutely an extreme Karl Marx and his works have been a plague upon the modern day societies, and it's not loving at all to be a communist. So where in what world does Hasan Piker think he's in the middle? Goodness gracious. I'm like, no, he doesn't have a boyfriend. He's actually, are Valkyrie and this guy still together? I have no idea if they're still together, but the last time I checked in, Valkyrie didn't want to have kids. I think she's like in her mid to late 30s. This guy wanted to have a family with her. It's probably not happening. You know, it's a whole mess. He doesn't have a boyfriend. This is just me saying that him and the owner of this beautiful purple platform are in cahoots with each other a little too much. That is just me offending them, but not that he actually does. So, as someone who advocates for violence truly and has not been deplatformed yet, sir, you are not a moderate. The court has ruled that you are in fact on the extreme opposite side. The court has spoken. Phoenix Wright it in here. What is it that Phoenix Wright says, man? Objection. Throw an objection in there for this guy. Goodness gracious, dude.
Of commentary. It's just a lot of people are stupid. You're looking at a super botted website. We don't have to address every single stupid person and the way that they misunderstand jokes. The way that they
let's be honest. The purple site is also pretty botted, if you ask me. I don't think you'd really have as big in quotation marks of an audience that you have if it wasn't for the bots that someone's paying you for.
Understand hyperbole, sometimes directly and sometimes because they're just stupid. You know? That's it. There is no equivocation, no moral or any kind of intellectual equivalence between someone like myself and someone like Asmongold. We are not two sides of the same coin. I guess he's my polar opposite in many respects. I shower. I'm educated. This is something I truly...
Did he really just go there and say that Asmon doesn't shower? Dude, this is insanity, man. Bro said, he just went like, you're the Roach King, you're gross. And it's like, I shower and brim proper. Dude, you're like the Pharisees, man. You may have this very clean, refined exterior, but inside you are a tomb full of skeletons, man. That's crazy. Wait, Asmon? Yeah, Asmon. That's crazy. Asmon has a degree. Look, let's be honest. Asmon does need to take care of himself better. I think he's made steps towards doing that. But I'd rather this guy just go and talk about his points and confront his points and not whether or not Asmon has cleaned his room or not, which, by the way, he did clean his room, Hasan. I should send you a picture and you can see how beautiful it looks now.
Care about. I have moral convictions. He has none of that. He doesn't shower. He's not educated. He has no moral convictions whatsoever.
Asmon's probably more educated than like most of America at this point. Who knows? He doesn't have to be a scholar.
He's simply a grifter. And also, I believe in uplifting all
grifter.
All people, and he certainly does not. I believe that we shouldn't murder children. He clearly believes we can murder some children, right? So in that sense, we are polar opposites of one another. But dumb people will look at, you know.
Look, my guy, he's not advocating for the things that you're talking about. And there's a very specific scenario that he talked about when it came to that. You just took him out of context and you thought, yeah, this is what he said. He's a horrible human being. You don't advocate for everyone. Quite frankly, you're fine with the people you truly advocate for to destroy the people that you don't like. And you said it. It was caught on video. So how do you advocate for everyone when you don't even like white people? And look, he doesn't look like a white European, but he's a light-skinned man. He look a bit like skin in here, little red, little reddish tan. Look at him. Okay, let me not make fun of him. But like, are you serious? When the day that you start advocating for even white people is the day that we can talk and sit at the table, because you don't advocate for them. You are happy that they will get destroyed by the people that you want in, that these governments want in. I don't want to hear this from you. Sit down, bro. Actually, Asmon was advocating for the people that you want actually ended. He wants the children of these illegals to stay home, for their wives to stay home. And if they want to potentially get bug at the border, that's on them. But otherwise, you don't care, because you don't care if these people die. You don't care if these people leave behind everything in their home to come here and cause chaos. You don't care about it. You're such a hypocrite. You are a massive hypocrite. And I don't want to hear this from you, buddy. A hooker on the street has more sympathy for her country than you do.
Some people will look at the situation and go, well, I don't agree with Hasan, and I've been duped into believing that he's this dangerous radical, and therefore, I'm going to sit here and say, people who say that the international law recognizes the occupied people's right to militarily resist against an occupation is exactly the same as advocating to murder children. Yeah, only if you're a fucking stupid person who's fallen victim to unlimited amounts of propaganda do you make that decision. And unfortunately, there's a lot of stupid people. There are a lot of stupid people. Like Romansky is currently doing it. Rape Tone posted a joke you made about the Great Replacement, presented it as something you admitted in secret. 40K likes, the senator reposted it, new smear against you. Guys, it's fine. Like, look, I will never stop believing in the capacity of the average person to be a little bit more, a little bit smarter. But like,
Dude, this guy, Hasan, I would love to compare our IQs. So does anybody know what Hasan's IQ level is? Because I'm really curious. Mine is 128, Hasan. If you can beat this number, maybe I need to go sub to you real fast. Because I don't know if this guy's IQ is above 100. If I'm going to be like really honest with you. I don't know. I'll be surprised if it is. And you're a manipulator. You are, in fact, the grifter that you're talking about. The amount of projection coming from this man's mouth is unbelievable. I can taste the projection on my microphone here in my headphones. If I go lick my headphones right now, the projection is just seeping through it.
we can't do, again, neo-Nazi bass boosted nonsense
and then the same song and dance, the same script. Everyone who doesn't agree with me is a Nazi. Nazi Yahtzee. Get me in that yacht? She? Dude, this is insanity, man. This can't be real. I feel like I'm watching a movie. I feel like I'm in an episode of Black Mirror, and this isn't real. What he's saying isn't real, right? Like, his words can't hurt me, chat, right? They're not seeping through my headphones and into my ears and causing me permanent brain damage or anything, right? Goodness gracious.
Fucking day of the week. Yes, dude. Yes, they think I'm like, if people believe in the Great Replacement, if people genuinely believe that like immigrants are coming in to,
yeah. Do you see what's happening in the UK, Hasan? They ain't serving fish and chips no more. They're giving you the halal meat. Yeah. With the sight of getting destroyed by the people in the streets and on the cops when you try to save the little girl who's getting hurt. Yeah, that's what they're serving up in there. Jail time for anybody who's trying to protect their people. Don't you come at me with the, oh, this isn't happening. There's no Great Replacement. Man, this level of blindness has to be malicious, because there's no way that you don't see what's happening across the pond over there, and the amount of people, especially young people, losing their lives to people that are immigrating from this third world, because my country said it's hip, y'all. It's fresh. Let's be diverse, yo. Let's bring them in. And let's watch them destroy the people in our, and then if our people try to fight back, we're going to put them in jail because you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a Nazi. Then shut up. Oh my goodness. No comprendo lo que le pasa por la mente a este muchacho. No creo que es real. Es mentira. He's an AI on the screen looking at me, telling me all the nonsense that the left has been spewing for years now. Goodness gracious, have mercy.
Dilute the white gene pool, then yeah, they're going to look at a situation like that. They're going to look at a statement like that with me making a very clear joke about how white genocide is not real. and they're going to farm it as like it's real. There are a lot of people who, unfortunately, on the far right and on the right now, who believe that white genocide is a real concept, the Great Replacement is a real concept. Who cares? Just push back on it. Be like, you're a fucking idiot.
We're trying to push back on it, but you keep pushing forward on it. So how are we gonna keep pushing back on it when you keep pushing towards us? Like, huh? Am I living in an alternate reality right now? Is he reading from a prompter right now? Hasan, I need you to blink twice, man. If you're not okay, man, just blink twice and we'll get you out. Oh my gosh.
White genocide is not real. People consensually engaging in race mixing is...
Oh! Oh! This has nothing to do with people willingly choosing to be with who they want to be. Where do you get this logic from, man? Oh my goodness. It's like he doesn't watch the news. There are people losing their lives every day where it shouldn't have happened in the first place. This has nothing to do with me choosing to be with a white man. It has nothing to do with an Asian man choosing to be with a Latina mommy. It has nothing to do with that. That's a different conversation. That's a different conversation. We're talking about people losing their lives, man. You have no empathy for the people that are losing their lives actively, that are being targeted because the minority, in quotation marks, decided, hey, I'm tired, I want reparations, let me go ahead and we're good. Oh my goodness, dude. Me está matando ese muchacho. Like, no lo entiendo. How do you see the way that the world is right now, and you say that people are not actively being targeted for the color of their skin, or because people who were supposedly oppressed are tired and now they want reparations and they're going to get them any way they want? And in addition to that, we have religions and cultures that don't fit with Western society, which is supposed to be predominantly white, coming in and enforcing their tyrannical religion on others. Any Christian apologist worth their salt is going to tell you that this is how these particular group of people act, and their mission, and what they're doing, and how they're accomplishing it, and how it's affecting the greater society. I can't listen to this guy anymore. I really can't. I'm not even that bright of a bulb in the light box, and I know that this stuff is happening because I see it happening, and I know what their religion teaches. It's the religion that, throughout history, this is part of the reason why we had the Crusades, because people like this were going after a specific group of people. They were coming after Christians, and they promote it. We're not stupid, man. The internet exists. All of this is out there. And anyone worth their salt is going to tell you that. Oh my goodness, dude. Are we on cloud 9, bro? And then Leaflet here, I think this was yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday morning. She said the Asmon situation might just be the base intelligence litmus test I've ever seen. I think Hasan did not pass the litmus test, Leaflet, if you're watching or end up watching. This guy did not pass it. No flying colors here. It's a testament to the greatest modern civilization that these people can even exist. And then this person said a couple months ago, Leaflet said the sins of the father are not transferred to the child. So this is snot-nosed. Whatever, I have this account blocked because they are, their intelligence is a little lacking, to say the least. So she is not backtracking. Leaflet had agreed with Asmon. One thing that people don't understand is that when one side is willing to use women and children to commit crimes, and you let them use this to lessen your response, then you make it strategically valid. In the immediate, it's bad because it feels awful, but by allowing the effectiveness of the tactic to stand, you create much more dire consequences for a greater sum of people, both for the children and the women who will be used in the future, and for the crime that will come to citizens. You also have to consider economic and cultural damage that will occur. Basically, you allow your morality which they don't even care about, by the way, to drive you to a result that creates exponentially higher levels of suffering and death. This is the difference between knights and kings, the ability to make this decision while understanding fully the consequences at whole and not just in a single moment. She said it beautifully here. Mwah, chef's kiss. Excellent. True. And look, I'm not saying I advocate for violence, but these people are a danger, and unfortunately, something's gonna break. Either they're gonna break or we're gonna break. So, she took the Knights and Kings thing from Malcolm, by the way. That's interesting. I gotta catch up on some other conversations, to be honest. So we have Madam Savvy, the Fox outrage from the commies who bring their kids to riots and happily target kids for propaganda. Don't get that these are the last days of patience where people are willing to sit down and explain themselves with them. And Emerald said here, the same tactic works well against the West. This is why even other examples like the Viet Cong during the Vietnam War used women and children as human shields. Same with Latin American cartels, Khmer Rouge, etc. The naive people think that their sense of morality is a human universal. And then we obviously have more comments here where people are basically agreeing with Leaflet. They're bringing up examples of this happening before. And again, I don't think it really sucks that we're at this point, but I think this is going to be the next logical step, is that a lot of lives there are going to be lives lost for other people to live on.
Because that is according to your principles. When I am stronger than you, I take away your freedom because that is according to my principles.
Thank you for the super chat, AJ. Appreciate you. Yeah, it's a setup so that when they're the strongest, when they're the majority, you're cooked. So it looks like Asmon did provide a update on his Discord server. Someone had asked if there's anything they can share. It looks like Asmon will be making a follow-up video to this. I don't know if it's out yet. If it does come out today, we can react to it. If it comes out between the time I'm off stream and tomorrow, we can absolutely react to it because I'm interested to know what he has to say. And it looks like there's something else going on in his life, so please keep him in prayer. Again, I may not agree with Asmon and all of his things, but it sounds like it's something that is very serious, so please keep him in your prayers. And Tech Joe coming in with the spicy takes here. Why are they called minorities if they're literally everywhere? And I think that's bars. I don't think they should be called minorities anymore. They're absolutely the majority, and I think that the white population has very much decreased exponentially, and it will continue to decrease until there is no longer any pure white people left, which my opinion is that people should be able to marry who they want. I don't really care about race mixing, love who you want, but you should not be coerced to marry someone that you don't want, that you're not interested in. Let people marry who they want, and if they have a preference, let them have their preference. That's all there really is to it. It's really not that hard. So the next tweet or two that we're going to go over to kind of conclude this whole Asmon thing, and I'll share my final thoughts with you guys. Nanigachi, super cool based cat VTuber girl. If you guys don't follow her, please go give her a follow. She's really nice. So Nani said, Asmon, you can't say you should shoot the violent migrants that want to end you. You're only allowed to encourage political assassination, be racist against white people, say that America deserved 9/11, support terrorism, and say that people should end landlords while abusing your animal. Asmon, we've been over this. Stop saying these terrible things. And of course, she's being really sarcastic. A lot of people came after her for this. She clearly got a lot of traction in the last 2 days. And let's just say, good laugh. Good sarcasm, girl. You got the right people who needed to see this came in and they started attacking her. Obviously, there are people kind of joining in on the sarcasm as well. First, he was talking about women and children, you ape. First of all, she's a cat girl. Don't call my girly pop an ape. She don't sling bananas. If you want to talk to a monkey, I can dial up Banana Juju right now for you and put her on the line. Secondly, racism to white people. Thirdly, the landlord was literally a joke. And finally, if you don't understand the true meaning behind the 9/11 statement, you're an idiot. What is this, bro? Oh my goodness. Women and children are violent migrants. They can be. They can be taught. The women can absolutely be that. The children, I don't think they know better. But again, even if, and tying back to what Leaflet said, what this person was trying to say, oh, didn't you say that the children shouldn't pay for the sins of their father? Well, no, I don't think they should. And we should try to save as many children as we can. But here's the thing. These particular groups train their children from a very young age to be a certain way. And so we can't ignore that. We really can't. Because then they grow up to be the very thing that's going to destroy us from the inside out if we let them live. If anything, we should just send them back. But the adults, they are absolutely malicious and they're using these children for their own selfish reasons. So yeah, the women can be violent. Women can be violent. Maybe not as violent as men, but they absolutely can be. So they missed the entire, this person like missed the whole thing. They're being used as a shield. And again, I don't want there to be casualties, but this is what they're championing for when they bring these people over. When these people come in through the borders and they do this stuff, it's like war. I may not want war, but when it happens, unfortunately, there are going to be casualties. Truly innocent people who get caught in the crossfire. That is a part of humanity, right? That is where we fall short.
John Moxley from AU. It's probably because they're both bald, lol.
That's wild. But again, there is unfortunately casualties. And I don't like war. I don't like violence. I don't like people losing their lives, right? I pray for them. But unfortunately, either we protect ourselves or we... Oh, Nani Gachi is in the chat. Yo, cat girl. Hello. You heard your name and your ears perked up. Oh my gosh. Hello. Can we get a shout out for Miss Nani Gachi here, the super based Southern Belle of the VTuber. That's so cool. Hi. It's good to see you. God bless you. Spicy cat, for real. Spicy cat rain. Yeah, and I'm the people who missed, first of all, what Asmon said, and then they come into your comment section here and they're acting like stupid. It's ridiculous. I genuinely believe that people would just want to see the destruction of America. It's sad that there will be children and women who perish. But here's the thing. Either they're being coerced into doing it or they brought it upon themselves, and we need to protect ourselves at this point. It's just going to continue to be drastic whether I like it or not. That is unfortunately the path that we're heading in. And I don't think I would stop it only because, I don't know. Enough is just enough, man. Like, this game of cat and mouse has become tiring. And what about us? What about our people who get, there have been so many cases at this point, especially in places like California, right? And other liberal places, other liberal states and major cities, where there have been young women being, violated, their life being snuffed out from them. And we don't have the same level of outrage for them as we do an illegal immigrant who cut the line and said, hey, give me everything. I'll vote for you so you stay in power. Where's the justice for them? Where's the justice for that young white woman who was her life was ended brutally by that one man who got let go at least 10 times now? Where is the outrage? Where is the love for them? And where's the love for the people who will be negatively affected going forward if we let these people in and we're just like, no, they have children, just let them through. And if they're innocent, I think God has mercy on children. They haven't come to the age of accountability. I think God will have mercy on their souls. There is no true equality. There's only destruction for one side and quote unquote equality for the other. These people don't care. But when the barbarian is at the gate and they're at your glass house, I don't want to hear it. Keep it on the record. I don't want to hear it. Because when they're there, it's too late. You let them in. You said it's fine. And it's ridiculous. And if you guys are not, if you don't feel indignity or injustice for your own people, even if you don't know them, right? Even if you don't know your neighbor, even if you don't know the person in the country, in the state over, where's the love for them? I don't see it. And people like Hasan, again, if it were up to me, he would have been in Turkey a long time ago. He would have been sent right back because he doesn't deserve to be here. And the people who are like him, who were born on this soil and have had the Kool-Aid so far up their eyes, you don't deserve to be here either. We'll send you with him and we'll see how you like it. The freedoms that you have here that are still not taken away from you yet, you're going to miss it when you're gone. And of course, pray for them. Pray that God opens their mind, that they open their minds and that they change and that they stop being useful idiots for the enemy. But if they don't, they deserve to go right back home with the sun, 100%. And then Nani follows up here earlier today at 2 a.m. Seems I made some people upset with this post. Thank you for sending me the clips of what has been said. Now, allow me to clarify. I fully agree with what he said. I think that's wonderful. It wraps it up in a bow. That's perfect. I think that her response was great. And it makes sense. I quote retweeted her here and I said, people are fine with third worlders, Islamists, and people who hate America to take over. They'd rather let the barbarian come through the gate than to defend their country and watch it prosper. Violent criminals should see justice in the way that Asmon spelled out. And I'm going to stand by that opinion too, because I want to be protected. I pay my taxes. I expect my government to protect me and not to throw me under the bus as they have. And we shouldn't tolerate it anymore. Of course, prayer. Let's speak if we can first and try to reason. But I think that the time for peaceful negotiations and reason is very much, I think we are at the last candlelight here. And if nothing changes for the good, this is not going to end very well. And I really don't want to see that day happen. As a Christian, again, I don't advocate for violence. But what can you do at this point? What is the solution? Is there a solution? Do we really need words at this point, or do we need action? I think we need action.